Peace, peace. This is Anpu with another video on Question Everything. Yes, I'm back again with a double header. In this segment, we're going to continue. This is part 2 of dealing with the shadow beings, understanding them, doing the history. The first video, I gave y'all a history on it. I gave you an article speaking on the Islamic terms on how they depict these entities. Last time I couldn't find the scripture on the Quran, but I actually got it now. I'm more prepared. So basically it's chapter 15 and section 3. So like I was saying before, it's an Arabic translated into English, right? And like I was saying, it was speaking about how Allah wanted, Iblis, who is the leader of the jinns, to bow down to man. And here it says, we created man from sounding from mud, molded into space. Now this is chapter 15, section 3, verse like 26 to like 35, right? So he's molded into shape. And the jinn race we had created before from the fire of the scorching wind. So like I said, the jinn was created before us. And there was another article I had read. I couldn't find it. I got it somewhere in the bins or somewhere. Speaks about how the jinn had pretty much dominion over this planet before we was created, and that also sparked, the hatred towards us, the jealousy, and why there's always a battle. And so because of the curse they were put on, they got put within the parallel universe, within another dimension, pretty much. So yes, they are in the lower dimension, and the lower dimension is here. This third dimension is a low dimension. This is why everything is physical. Everything is physical. When you start getting to higher dimensions, the shapes of objects can shift constantly. So basically, the matter on this 3 dimension, the vibration is very slow. That's why everything is solid. So yes, this 3rd dimension that we're in right now is considered the low dimension, as well as the 4th. But when you start going higher to the 5th dimension, that's when the vibration is much higher. This is the heavenly realms. Okay, so pretty much, let's get back to the Quran. Now this is on page 642. So now 643, it says, when I have fashioned him and breath into him of my spirit, fall ye down in obedience to him. So here is Allah saying, I blew breath into man. Now I want y'all to pay homage, pretty much. And it says, number 30, it says, so and the angels did themselves, and when they bowed, they all bowed together. And then number 31 says, not so Iblis. He refused to be among those who prostrated themselves. And God asked him, O Iblis, what is your reason for not being among those, who bow down? And Iblis said, I'm not the one to bow down, myself to man, who you created out of clay, pretty much. And God said, then get out from here, for thou art rejected, and then the curse shall be onto thee to the day of judgment. Now that's in the Quran. That is speaking about the jinns, that race of beings. So you have three creations: angels, then the jinns, and then us humans' souls, pretty much. I mean, I don't like to use the term human, but pretty much the mankind, or however you know what I'm talking about. So basically, us that's taking on these physical bodies on this third plane, this third dimension. And yeah, so this is in the Quran, and ever since then, it's just been a battle. It's been a war. And also, I told you about the Holy Tablets, who was written by Malachi Z. York, who is the founder of um, a religious group called the Nuwapians. I mean, they don't like to really call themselves a religion, but I'm not really going to get into deep and all that. But when you go into the Holy Tablets, and like I said, Malachi Z. York, he definitely went in depth with it. And his information is pretty much based on the ancient Sumerian texts. So now, when you go into the ancient Sumerian text, you're dealing with the Anunnakis. And the Anunnakis is pretty much, the oldest stories, and also the stories that are written on the walls of Egypt, which, most of these stories was taken from and put into these religious books. So the ancient Sumerians, they had their cuneiform, and it's been deciphered. And these stories came up, and it was speaking of the same events, pretty much. It was speaking of the same events, dealing with the creation, dealing with the jinns, and how this war pretty much started, dealing with good and evil, light and dark, right? And in the Holy Tablets, you could pretty much find a lot of information in the Tablet 10. So just Google Holy Tablets, it should pop up, and go to Tablet 10 and read it for yourself. And it speaks in depth when dealing with the 200 fallen angels. And like I said, the Bible, this is where they got their information from. The Bible, the Quran, and the Torah basically got their information from the ancient Sumerians, ancient Egyptians, and other ancient tribes, pretty much, and just took all these stories and then put their own twist to it, or put their own names to it. But basically, they're all the same characters. You just gotta, when you start researching and you start reading all these different texts in these books, you kind of get used to, like, oh, I know what this story is about. Okay, this person is that character, this character is in this character within this literature. So basically, I mean, that's what I did. I read so many books, read so many stories, and came across the same stories, and they're just different names. All right. So within the Quran, and also in the Holy Tablets, they call him Iblis. And in the Holy Tablets, they call him the disagreeable one. Okay. And also the Emerald Tablets. Now the Emerald Tablets is dealing with I know I did a video about it before, about the Emerald Tablets. It has a lot of information on it. It's another thing, you can Google yourself and read these tablets. And the tablet that I want to go into, before I even go into that, the entity that wrote the tablets, because the tablets is on stones, on emerald stones, and they found these stones, South America, I believe, and they date back thousands of years, and the entity that wrote them is is Thoth, okay, the god Thoth, and he's also in the ancient Egyptian uh, writings on the wall and stuff like that. But the god Thoth was the head priest of the Atlanteans when you're dealing with ancient Atlantis, right? And I want to go into one of um, one of the tablets, and this tablet is called the Key of Magic. Remind you, it's called the Key of Magic, right? So I want to read what's in this, pretty much what's in this tablet. Now, this is Thoth speaking. He's teaching. This is what was written on these tablets. It says, "Hawk ye, O man, to the wisdom of magic. Hawk the knowledge of powers forgotten. Long ago in the days of the first man, warfare began between darkness and light." Now there it is again. Like I said, these stories told many different ways, but the information is there. So basically he's saying this information is forgotten. And a lot of individuals don't know about this type of information. And like I said, this is why I'm playing my part and putting this information out for those that don't have no knowledge of this. Now, it's a warfare between the darkness and the light. Men then as now were filled with both darkness and light. And while in some darkness held sway, in others light filled our soul. Okay, the age old in this warfare, the internal struggle between darkness and light, fiercely is it fought all through the ages, using strange powers hidden to men. And in the last video in part 1, I kind of spoke about these abilities. They could take different shapes. They can possess people. They could change your surroundings. They could change your thoughts. They could whisper into you. Okay? A lot of people out there that have nightmares, those are usually the jinns. Like I said, the jinns pretty much know you better than you know yourself. So they could get into your mind. They could tap into your consciousness. They know your fears. So of course they're going to use that against you to get what they want. So let's say you afraid of clowns, right? I know a lot of people hear about this a lot, like how people are afraid of clowns. That's crazy, right? But you have some people that have a phobia about clowns. Now the jinns would know that. So when you lay your head to rest, it will project, these monstrous clowns and visuals within your consciousness. So you're having nightmares of evil clowns chasing you with knives, and then you're all nervous, you're scared, the fear, and that's exactly what they want. This is how they take your power. This is how they feed off of you. Okay? Where was I? Okay. Adepts has there been filled with the darkness, struggle always with the light. But others there are who filled with brightness, have ever conquered the darkness of night. And when you read the Emerald Tablets by the Atlantean Thoth, it's kind of like a poem. Like when you really read it, it's like a flow. It's like a song, right? So when you research this and you read it, if I was you, I'll read all the tablets because all of them have good information. And like I stated in my other past videos, that the Emerald Tablet speaks a lot about astral travel. That's just really basically is it all about, leaving your physical body, because basically he's saying that this body is like a prison, in which it is. And this is what the ancient Egyptians teach, that the body is a prison. And this is why they base their whole life on death. They whole life they preparing for death, which is crazy, but it's real. Okay. Where ye may be in all ages and plain, surely ye shall know the battle with night. Long ages ago, the sons of the morning, descending, found the world filled with night. There in that past began the struggle, the age-old battle, darkness and light. So the sons of the morning descending. I mean, there's so many ways you can, you know, interpret this, those lines. It's a lot of symbology, it's a lot of metaphors. So I'll let you decipher it on your own, and whatever you come up with, it's just really pretty much no wrong answer to it. But okay, and many in the times were so filled with darkness that only feebly flamed the light from the night. Okay. Some they were masters of the darkness, who sought to fill all with their darkness. Like I said, it's different levels when you're dealing with the jinns. It's different ranks. You know what I'm saying? There are some that are very powerful. Sought to draw others into their night. Fiercely withstood they, the masters of brightness. Fiercely fought they from the darkness of night. Sought ever to tighten their feathers, the chains that bind men in the darkness of night, meaning that we are bound to this body, okay? And this is why it's hard to fight this battle. And with me, I was able to leave my physical body, and that's how I was able to battle these entities. But there are other ways to battle in them, and I'm going to get into that. But let me finish this tablet. Used they always the dark magic, brought unto man by the powers of darkness, magic that enshrouded men's soul with darkness. This is where the possession starts. Get into the violence. Why people are so violent. These are the souls that are easily taken over by. Okay? Banded together as in order. Brothers of darkness. Okay, this is what the Emerald Tablets call them. Brothers of darkness instead of the jinn. Okay? They through the ages, antagonists they to the children of men, walked. They always secret and hidden, found, yet not found by the children of men. Found, but not found. That's deep. Forever they walked and worked in darkness, hiding from the light in the darkness of night. Silently, secretly, use their power, enslaving and binding the soul of man. I'm telling you, y'all need to pay attention. Because this is serious. This is going on as we speak. This is going on right now. Right? Unseen they come, and unseen they go. Man, in his ignorance, calls them from below. Dark is the way of the dark brothers travel. Dark of the darkness, not of the night. Traveling, to earth. They walk through men's dreams. Like I said, they can tap into your dreams and give you these nightmares. And this is why when you have a nightmare, when you come out of that nightmare, you waking up, you're sweating, your heart is pounding, you're full of fear, and what happens? The next day you get up, you're drained. You're physically drained. Okay? I mean, it happened to me plenty of times, having nightmares. Coming out of a nightmare and just be physically drained, like just beat up. And that's because they're taking your life force. Okay? They walk through man's dreams. Because when you dream, like I said, astral traveling and dreaming, it goes hand in hand. So when you're dreaming, your consciousness leaves your body. Okay? Same thing with astral traveling. It's just that when you're dreaming, you're not conscious. When you're astral traveling, you're conscious. That's the only difference. Y'all, everybody out there, y'all astral travel. You just can't remember, or you can't be conscious while you're doing it. Okay. Power they have gained from the darkness around them to call other dwellers from out of that plane in ways that are dark and unseen by men. Into men's minds, space reached the dark brothers. Around it, they closed the veil of their night. They veil, meaning they could, change your surroundings. They could manipulate your mind. Okay? There through its lifetime, that soul dwelled in bondage, bound from the feathers of the veil of the night. They speaking about the astral plane. Okay? Mighty are they in the forbidden knowledge. Forbidden because it is one with the night. Hark ye, old man, and listen to my warning. Basically, he's like, listen to me. I am warning you. Okay? Be ye free from the bondage of night. Surrender not your soul to the brothers of dark. Keep thy face ever turned towards the light. Know you not, O man, that your sorrow only has come through the veil of the night. Ye man, ye might basically saying, hear my warning. Strive ever upward. Turn your soul toward the light. Now, for those that have been watching my videos, I stated that in my last astral traveling video. Like I said, it was darkness. The veil was darkness. And I said to myself, me flying upward, I noticed that I was able to escape that veil, that dimension. And I put two and two together, and I kind of like, I haven't read these tablets in such a long time. I just had to dig in the crates and find them and get back to the emerald tablets and refresh my memory on it. And now I'm reading this, it's kind of blowing my mind because that was my experience. Because within the actual traveling situation that I had the last of this month of August 2017, something was guiding me. It was guiding me. I was flying upward into this dark space, and it gave me a pattern to sway back and forth. Like I said, that serpent energy, that kundalini energy. Okay, and I was flying upward, and it kept going. It kept saying forward, forward. And then what happened? I saw a light. There was a light. Turn your soul towards the light. So these are the keys that Thoth has given us. Okay, the brothers of the darkness seek for their brothers, those who travel the pathway of light. For well know that those who have traveled far towards the sun and their pathway of light have great and yet greater power to bind with darkness the children of light. Listen to me, he says. To he who comes to you, but wait in the balance, if his words be of light. So many there are who walked in dark brightness, and yet are not the children of light. So he's saying, be careful. See, because they could shape shift. They could change their appearance. He's saying, yeah, they listen to their words, because you might think they good, and then they probably not. These are the mind tricks that the jinns play. Okay, easy is it to follow their pathway. Easy to follow the path that they had led. But ye, old man, ye hear my warning. Basically what he's saying. Light comes only to him who strives. Hard is the pathway that leads to the wisdom. So when it's easy, it's not good. Greatness come through hard work. Always remember that. Greatness come through the hard pathway. Okay? Hard is the pathway that leads to the light. It leads to the wisdom and it leads to the light. Many shall find the stones in your pathway. Many the mountains to climb towards the light. Meaning that you could get there, but it's not going to be easy. And I tell you now, my journey, and for those that have been following my videos, you can see it has not been easy. It's still not that easy. I'm still learning, still going through, the trials. I'm still going through the obstacles. Yet know ye, O man, to him that cometh free will he be on the pathway of the light. For he know, O man, in the end light must conquer, and darkness and night will be banished from the light. Listen to me. Hear this wisdom, he's saying. Even as darkness, so is the light. When darkness is banished and all veils are rended, out there shall flash from the darkness the light. This is like when I was going through the dimension from the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension. It's like a burst of light, and you're in this higher dimension, and it's just beautiful. It's just heavenly. Okay? Even as exist among men the dark brothers, so there exist the brothers of light. So even though you got these dark entities, you also have light entities, meaning that you have negative and you have positive, the duality. Antagonists they of the brothers of darkness, seeking to free men from the night. Powers have they mighty and potent, knowing the law, the planets obey. Work they ever in harmony and order, freeing the man's soul from his bondage of night. So that's telling us that we have helpers. That night, that last time I had the astral traveling, that's what that was. That was the brothers of the light. And it was showing me, it was guiding me. It was guiding me. So therefore this is showing you that we have helpers in these astral realms. Just like that book I had showed about astral traveling. And it speaks about, that whole book is basically about your astral helpers. Okay? And it says, work they ever in harmony, in order, freeing man's soul from its bondage of night. Meaning, freeing thy soul from its bondage of night is telling you your physical body. You leaving your physical body, because that's what's holding you down. Secret and hidden walk they also, known not are they to the children of men. Ever have they fought the dark brothers, conquer and conquering time without end. Yet always light shall in the end be master, driving away the darkness of night. So this is showing you that this war has been going on and on and on. It's probably been going on since the time of existence of everything, right? Ye man know that this knowing always beside thee walk the children of light, masters they of the sun power, ever unseen yet the guardians of men. Open to all is their pathway, open to he who will walk in the light. Free are they of dark amenti, free of the halls where life reigns supreme. Okay? One have they been oneness internal throughout all spaces since the beginning of time. Up did they come in oneness with all one. Up from the first space, form and unformed. Given to man have they secrets that shall guard and protect him from all harm. He who will travel the path of the master, free must he be from the bondage of night. Gotta astral travel. Conquer must he, the formless and shapeless. Conquer must he, the phantom of fear. This is what I was saying. Knowing must he gain all the secrets, travel the pathway that leads through the darkness, yet ever before him keep the light of his goal. Obstacles great shall he meet in the pathway, yet press on the light of the sun. Hear me, the sun is the symbol of the light that shines at the end of thy road. Man, this is deep. Now to thee give I the secrets. Now to meet the dark power, meet and conquer the fear from the night. Only by knowing can he conquer. I'm going to say that again. Only by knowing can he conquer. Only be knowing can ye have light. So if you don't have no knowledge of this type of information, you're not going to conquer it. You're not going to conquer these entities. They're going to continue and continue to take advantage of you and cause you great pain and cause you fear. Okay? Now I give unto thee the knowledge known to the masters, the knowing that conquers all the dark fears. Use this, the wisdom I give thee. Master thou shalt be of the brothers of night. And it also continues on and explains it's like a prayer and show you what to do, but I'm not going to get into all that. But like I said, the information is there. That is the Emerald Tablets by the Atlantean priest Thoth, Tahuti, Thoth, right? So basically, like I was saying, you're dealing with the dreams, they're gonna get you through that. Even when you're having, so you gotta be mindful about certain situations. When I'm a person with great patience, and that's something that you have to practice, because if they can't get you, they're gonna try to manipulate somebody else to give you fear or give you anger. So they could, like, say if you at work and you're very peaceful and you're doing your thing, you're having a great day, when it could whisper, the jinn could whisper in your coworker's ear to start something with you. So you have to use your inner self and be like, okay, this person is being used as a puppet to get to me, to break my spirit, to make me angry, to make me fearful, or whatever hatred or any type of negative energy, or even depressed, like depression. You have to shake out of that, because that's what they love, negative energy. When you feel that dark cloud, and I'm not going to sit here and say I don't have these emotions, I don't fear these emotions, because I do, but I'm always mindful when they come my path. I always look at the situation and analyze it. So now I start seeing situations so differently. And that's why the most powerful thing you can ever do is to forgive. You think about the situation, you see what you can learn from the situation, and then you forgive and you just move on. Don't dwell on it. So that is pretty deep information. So use these tools, use these things. Also, I'm going to show you something that a lot of people use. When I was going through, there's a YouTuber that goes by the name of Ra Imhotep. And we spoke on the phone and everything. And, I spoke to him about my experiences. And he put me on to crystals. And I also, my friend Hathor, she was the one that put me on to crystals. So these are other things that you can use to help protect yourself. Crystals. Hematite. Hematite is a hematite crystal necklace. Now this is supposed to be the most powerful crystal in dealing with negative energy. Okay. Quartz crystal. This is a Tibetan smoky quartz. So crystals also help. This is an amethyst crystal. So I've been working with crystals for years, you know, and also sage. I just bought this the other day. Haven't used it yet, but it's the bundle of sage. Bundle of sage. And there's a certain way of using the sage to clear the energy within where you live, where you rest your head. Now, what I would do is I would light the sage and I would start from the entrance of my door and I would go counterclockwise and make sure you hit every corner. You wave that smoke because I was told that the sage gets rid of negative energy. That these negative energies within the other dimensions don't like it, so they move away. Um, so I would go from counterclockwise all the way around the room. You know, each room I'll do counterclockwise and say your own personal prayer. You are the master. You have the power. So you say whatever is comfortable with you, that resonates with you, that's dealing with the light, that's dealing with positive, you know, and you say your own thing. It doesn't have to be a certain uh scripture that you have to read. You have the power. Okay. And at the end of the day, when I was going through these things, and I'll be honest with you, crystals, sage, I was doing all that when I was going through my actual traveling experiences. And I'm gonna tell you no lie, I was still having, these encounters. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that these crystals are the answer or this sage is the answer. Nah. Through, like I said, through my journal, I realized none of this stuff doesn't really matter. Yes, it can help in some ways, but at the end of the day, it's you. You are the power. You have the power, pretty much. And yeah, you have the power. And the first thing is just the fear. And I noticed that in my experiences, and I was watching another guy's YouTube video, and he spoke about it, that what he did when he was encountered a shadow being. He was very positive and just, I'm not scared of you. Hey, how you doing? Greeting it and all that. And he said that they just left him alone. I used that same technique, and it worked for me. I mean, yeah, I'm still going to encounter them, but right now, they don't come at me like how they used to. See, in the beginning of my actual traveling videos, they were very bold. My old experiences, they were bold. They were at me, they were attacking me, they would grab me, and like when they touched me, many times they had touched me, it just felt like someone would have had like very cold hands when they touched my astral body. That was the feeling I felt. Um, and it was times that they were so bold, because they knew I was scared. And so what I did was eliminate the fear and just came out and just was like, what's up? But then when I started leaving my body and really exploring the realms and I would see them, I would straight go into attack mode. And I would strictly attack them. And every time I would come out, I realized that they would scatter, they would run. So they realizing that I was becoming more aware of what was going on. And then I realized that how powerful I was. And that at the end of the day, they have no power. I took it all away from them once I stopped fearing them. And that's what you have to do. Before you go, you rest your physical body. You say your prayers, you say your words, and you ask for protection from your ancestors and the brothers of light or your astral helpers. You ask for that protection because they there. They just waiting for you to call. It's like a phone call. Hit me up. So yeah, so it was times that I grabbed them by the neck. It was times that I burnt them with my hands. I had like this light that came out my hand. At one experience I had, I grabbed one, and this light came out my hand, and I kind of melted it. And like I said, I had so many encounters with them. I've battled with them, and now they know they can't come at me like how they used to. So now I realize that they will come like they shapeshift. They will use my loved ones, appearance. They would shapeshift to a dog or a cat, like they said, or a tree. They would hide. They would hide. They would never face me face to face like how they used to, because they once they realized that I knew my power, it was over. It was over. So yeah, use that. I mean, you gotta really think about it when you're looking at the music industry, the movie industry, the media. All this ties into negativity. I mean, you listen to the music now, it's just full of negativity. It's nothing creative anymore. That's why I make my own music, you know? It's because I could be more creative. I could come up with different things. If I'm going to do something that's dealing with the streets and I'm speaking about the street life, I'm going to be creative about it, you know? Um, I mean, listen to the music. It's all the same. All the beats sound the same. It's like hypnotizing these young kids. And, these rappers are portraying that they just killer drug dealers, and they really not, but they manipulating the minds of the youth, and they going out there thinking it's cool. And what are they doing? They committing criminal acts. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. But I spoke about the media in my last video. I ain't got to touch on that. Everybody knows that the news puts out negative things. Movies is more negative things. But now the movies is, you have a balance. They give you the bad, but they also give you clues. Just pay attention to movies. So now it's more Marvel movies. We're dealing with the comic books. Where do you think all these ideas came from? Having powers, flying, doing special abilities. You have these abilities in these higher realms. That's the crazy thing. You have these abilities, you know. Yes, you are a superhero, but you just have to tap into it. Um, so another thing too is like when I really looked at the gym, I stated it in the past video that when I really, really paid attention, this is something that I'm still questioning right now. When I really looked into the gym through the darkness, I really examined it because I had him standing next to my bed so close to me. I was able to really, really get a good look. Like I stated before, it looked like the great aliens. So I'm still questioning myself, like, is this uh the type of being that we dealing with? Is it some type of extraterrestrial, or is it something else? So this is what I'm trying to figure out, and it's deep. It's real deep. And I also want to play a skit from the God Prodigy from Mobb Deep, rest in peace. He was a brother that was very open-minded. He was, to be honest with you, he was the one I found out about Malachi Z. York and about the Holy Tablets, because I read his book, My Infamous Life. It's a good book. It's because I'm into hip hop, and he's putting a lot of information about what goes on behind the scenes with a lot of rappers that I love and that I listen to their music. So he also spoke about Malachi Z. York and about the Holy Tablets and stuff. And one of the clip that I'm about to play is it was one of his last interviews that he did with his therapist. And for those have seen it, it's very interesting. And those that don't know who Prodigy is, he's a hip hop rapper from Queens. Um, he wrote books, he directed movies. Um, yeah, he's just a major figure in the hip hop world. For those that don't know who Prodigy is. And he spoke a lot about the secret societies. He spoke a lot about the Illuminati. He was one of the first rappers to speak about the Illuminati. when he was like the Illuminati with my mind, soul, and my body. When he spoke about that on a track with LL Cool J. And I'm from the same hood as LL Cool J, Farmers. So, you know, he on that remix that he did with him, that was the first time you ever heard a rapper speak about the Illuminati. And ever since after him, then you started hearing about it. So like I said, this information is coming to light. I'm gonna play this clip, him being interviewed by a therapist, and this is one of the last interviews that he did. One of the last. And very interesting. And listen to what he said. But I'm crazy.
So you're on another wavelength.
At night, when I laid down to go to sleep, all the lights was off in my room, and I'm laying there, and I seen a black shadow walk across my room. And it looked like, the only thing I could describe what it looked like the Black Spider-Man.
And you went on your drugs.
No.
I just
6 years straight. I'm like,
I just want to deepen you into
super
this
healthy.
is your life. Okay.
Super healthy, clear-minded.
Okay.
I'm doing positive things.
Yes.
Like I'm not. So I just laid there, and I put the sheet over my head, like a little kid, and just like forced myself to go to sleep. And I woke up the next morning. The pain woke me up. I haven't been sick in 6 years. And I was in so much pain, I didn't even carry it to the hospital. I knew what happened automatically. I already knew what it was. I already knew what that black shadow was.
So there you see it, the brother Prodigy also had encounter with the shadow beings. Like I said, this is real. I'm giving you some real information right now. And yeah, I know I'm gonna get attacked for this. I know I am. But I guess what? I'm ready. I'm powerful. The almighty Anpu Ra. So until we meet again, keep that positive light in you. Question everything.